calls us to believe, He is opening a door for us. He's saying, this is the door. This is the door to paradise. But yet, we know that this is the door to eternal life. We know that this is the door to paradise, but yet we hesitate. We hesitate because we are afraid. We hesitate because we are afraid of the unknown. We are afraid, and so when we become afraid of the things that we cannot control, we kind of back off. And I know a lot of you are listening to this today, and you're thinking, yeah, that's me. That's me. It's okay because that's what we do. We hesitate. But when God is calling us to do something, when God is calling us to move, we should move. And I know that's a lot easier said than done. Because when God calls us to do something so amazing, so magnificent, that we hesitate, we need to turn our gaze to God. Because when we turn our gaze to God, guess what? That thing that we were hesitating to do becomes a lot easier with God's help. I'm going to say this one time because I want you guys to get this. When God calls us to do something amazing, it might be helping someone with groceries. It could be opening up a door for someone. It could be giving a smile or giving a hug to someone in need. But yet we hesitate. We hesitate. We think, I'm too good for that. They don't really need that. Or my personal favorite, we say, get behind me, Satan. but really, but when we fix our eyes on God, when we do what God's called us to do, guess what? That those groceries that you were going to help with, opening the door for someone, hugging someone, giving them a smile and a handshake, it becomes much easier when your focus is not on you, but your focus is on God. Your focus is on God. And so as we believe that God can, that God will, we believe in His promise. And His promise was this, is that you will be in paradise with me if you believe. If you believe. Now, so many of us ask, okay, I believe that He died for me. Isn't that enough? But so often it is not enough just to believe, but to live. I'm going to say this one more time so you guys get this. It often isn't enough just to believe, but we need to live. We need to live as God is here in this moment. We need to live our lives for a purpose. And I've talked about this before, that when we live our life with purpose, when we live our life with meaning, we end up believing that we can with God's help. We can with God's help. Does that make sense? We believe, when we believe in something, when we believe that God can, that God will, we start to live that out. We start to live that out in our lives. We start to live as Christ because of the things that we believe. I know there's so many of us out there today believing in something. We believe it so much that we start to live it out. And so often we believe in ourselves, which is sometimes a good thing and also a bad thing. We believe in ourselves that we can, that we can do it, and that's a good thing. But when it becomes all about us, that is when we need to turn our eyes to God. And I know there's so many people out there who believe different things, who live different lives. But when we believe in one Spirit, one God, in the unity with Him, the life that we live is a thing that we believe. There's a quote out there somewhere, and you can Google it, but the quote goes like this: you live what you believe, and you believe what you live. You believe what you live. If you believe in yourself and you believe in God, that's what you're going to live. But if you believe that there's nothing but misery and pain and heartache, that is what you're going to live. And so I want you guys to live with a purpose, knowing that God is there with you and through you, and that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Living in unity. In verse 4 it says this. It says, therefore there is one body, one Spirit, just as we were called to one hope when you were called. When you were called. It says this in verse 5. It says, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and the Father of all, who is over all, through all, and in all. And so when we believe in Christ, when we believe that He can and that He will, we start to live that out. We start to live like Christ. And that is so powerful when we live like Christ. Because when we live like Christ, we show people that there is a light in this world. There's a light in this dark world. So often, we see things on the news, like ISIS, and all these terrible things going on with the police shootings. But when we live like Christ, we start to show people that there's a light in this dark world. And we start to live out what we believe is true, what is noble. Because there's one God, one Spirit, one baptism, one hope. In Christ, who is in all and through all. In all and through all. And what that is saying is that He lives in each and every single one of us. No matter what path we go down, no matter where we go, no matter how far we run, He will always be with us. He will always be with us. And so, I want you to ask you this question. Do you believe that He is the risen Son of God? Because in the story of Lazarus, as Jesus was talking to Mary and Martha, He says this. He says, do you believe that I'm the resurrection and the life? Do you believe that I died, or that I'm going to die, and that I rose again? Do you believe that I can raise Lazarus from the dead? And they said, yes, I believe that you are the resurrection and the life. But when they responded, God says, no. Do you truly believe? Do you truly believe that I can and that I will? Do you truly believe that I can and that I will? And God says, do you believe it? Do you believe it? And so I want to ask you this question tonight. Do you believe it? Do you believe that God is the resurrection and the life? Do you believe that He came down to die for you in your place? Do you believe that tab that you rung up, God came over to your table and said, I've taken care of the bill. Taking care of the bill. I see so many great things in this world. I see love, compassion, hope. Why? Because they believe in those things. They believe in those things, and so they start to live that way. And so when we live like Christ, we start to believe that Christ can, that God, and that Christ will. We believe that we will be in paradise with Him. We believe that when we believe in Him, we will not go to hell, but we will live on forever with Him in His kingdom at the right hand of God. Because He is in all and through all. He is in us, working in magnificent ways, working in us so that we can work in other people's lives. There are so many people who yet need to hear the good news of God. And so I want to ask you this question. Do you believe that that can be you? Do you believe that that can be you? Because when we believe in God, we believe that we can. I'm going to say this one time because I want you guys to get this. When we believe in God, we believe we can. And so as we are focusing on these $1 million questions, and we focus on where will I go, we will know where we go by the way that we believe. We will know by the way that we believe. We will know by the way that we believe. If you believe that God is the resurrection and the life, the truth, and you believe that He came down and He died for you, you will go to heaven. But if you believe that He is not, and you believe that everything I've said so far is a bunch of garbage, then God says, you will be apart from me. And when we have this vision of hell, it isn't so much that we are burning in agony. It's not so much that we are being tortured every single day, but it is this sense of loneliness, sense of isolation, sense of just being alone, disconnected from the one person who loved you most. So maybe some of you today are kind of rethinking what you believe, kind of rethinking everything I've said. And this is not so much as me saying you need to change what you believe because what you believe is wrong. No, that's not what I'm saying. This is a choice that you guys have to make for yourselves. So do not get this twisted. Do not start to think that I'm trying to change you because it's the last thing I want to do. But I'm telling you what Christians believe. And we believe that God is the resurrection and the life. We believe that when we die, we will go into paradise with Him. Because that's what it says in His Word. And there will always be people out there who don't agree with you. Who think that everything I'm saying is garbage, and that's okay. That's okay. Because it's all part of the $1 million questions. That's all about the $1 million questions. But God says when we are in unity, one spirit, one body, one hope, one baptism, and one God, anything is possible. Anything is possible the way that we love, but the way that we believe. And so some of you might be thinking, man, I want to believe something different. I want to believe that there is something better out there for you, for me. I want to tell you guys right now that you can change. You can change what you believe in an instant because so many people do. But it has to be your choice and your choice alone. So as we ask these $1 million questions, I want to ask you this question. What do you believe? Do you believe that He is the resurrection and the life? Or do you believe what everyone else is believing and that He is not? And so I told you guys today that this message series would challenge you, would push you. And so I want you guys to feel encouraged. I want you guys to feel pushed. Because these are all part of the $1 million questions that we already have answers to. God says we are loved. And so, as I'm closing out this message series, I want to leave you guys with this story. And so, a couple of months ago, a guy came through the drive-thru and handed me this fake $1,000 bill. And on the back of the bill, it says, "This is the $1 million question. Where will I go when I die? Will you go to heaven or will you go to hell?" And it went on, stating that God is the resurrection, that He is the life, and that when we believe in Him, we will be in paradise. And so as we are asking ourselves these $1 million questions, One gets to believe that God can.